That's an excellent point, and I do want to first and foremost again reiterate that S&P is not producing a country or sovereign level SDG score or ESG score for that matter. However, we are taking into account where companies are operating because we find that the country angle is very important. We speak of additionality, and that's exactly what it is. It's an addition. It's a nice little plus point on companies because of where they're operating. And the way that we're doing this is we've actually taken the UN SDG index. It's publicly available. Anyone can have a look at it. And it essentially ranks countries or rates countries. It's not really a ranking because many countries can have the same score. But from 0 to 100, 100 being the best SDG score out there, how are countries actually doing when it comes to things like rule of law or ease of doing business or human rights? Essentially, many different indicators that are aligned with the 17 SDG goals or across, again, the different targets that sit within those goals. So all that we've done is we've taken that score that they've got, those countries, across the different goals, and then also in total, and simply applied those where we're looking at a company that is, for example, doing a lot on quality education, but explicitly also doing it in nations. So the operational revenue is coming from countries that seem to be lagging when it comes to quality education, for example. They scored in the UN SDG index quite low, which means if a company is actually operating in those countries, that gives them a nice little bonus point because we're saying not only are you doing something that is aligned to quality education, you're doing it and selling it or actually providing it in a country that needs it, which we consider to be excellent. So we're still very much taking the country angle into consideration because we find it critical in order to actually achieve the SDGs, because a company doing something but just doing it, by themselves or in the direct community is not as impactful as actually doing it globally. So especially where companies operate, multinational companies or companies that have operational revenue coming from very diverse countries or regions, it is actually quite beneficial. So it does give them extra plus points when we're then comparing that to the SDG, to the UN SDG index, because we're leveraging that in order to assess which countries need it more than others. And probably won't be a shocker that no country has actually scored 100 on that. I think the highest country is somewhere in the 80s and tends to be, again, more of the developing nations. But yeah, very important for the additionality.